My name is Brett Copper with Copper Storage Management. We're a third-party management company for fully remote and automated facilities. On the last video, we talked about reasons why people choose one facility over the other, and we went through the top 15 reasons. Now we're going to look at the next 15 reasons to show things that are really just not as important as they used to be. And for that, again, we're going to reference the SSA Demand Study from 2023 they released in March of this year. As you can see, these are the bottom half of the top 30 reasons. Another way to say this is there are 15 more things important than the items on this list. So let that sink in as we go through, because a lot of these were conventionally thought as very important reasons to rent, and clearly, as the younger generations start to take over, they just are not as important anymore. It's very important that we understand where to put our money and where not to put our money in this business. Look at someone present at facility at all times. It's the second item on this list. That is the 17th most important reason to rent. There are 16 other items people care more about than having someone at the facility. That's a really big deal because remote management has taken off clearly. We see every big brand and small owners and operators starting to experiment with it or take off. Like in our case, we've got almost 180 stores in 30 states. And it really solidifies why we've been so effective and why other companies doing this have been so effective with remote management. It's just not as important as we used to think. Look at a phone app is the 19th most important reason. Very, very low on the list compared to what people typically think. Most people visit their facility on average once a month. People have way too many apps. I have probably 100 apps on my phone I never use. So do we need to put money into developing an app for the facility? This shows probably isn't worth putting too much money in. Doesn't mean there's not some cool things you can use like Store Pass, which is a wallet pass that's incredible. We're gonna roll out, but a full-fledged app is just not as important as it used to be. Facility brand is the 22nd reason on the list. That's a big deal. We used to think that big brand names really were a reason people rent. It just isn't the case. You're better off to have a localized feel. No one's going to rent because they recognize it. It's such a small percentage of people compared to the grading renting population. Just not as important as we used to think. Retail items sold in the office. Most people can probably guess this one, right? Because we have Amazon with 2-day shipping, Walmart, 2-day shipping. People do not want to go to a facility and load up 50 boxes in their car and tape and bubble wrap when they could just have it shipped to their home where they're going to pack up anyways. So what does that mean? Maybe utilizing services like Supply Side or a vendor where you can ship the goods directly to the consumer. I know we're launching that with Supply Side, where tenants will be able to purchase supplies through our website and they'll get shipped straight to their front door. We do not need to keep doing the old models that we're used to. The stats just show none of it is important as it is. Kiosk, the 24th reason. I'm not going to knock kiosks. Some people like to use them. It can look very good at facility level, but we have to think of ROI. If a kiosk is the 24th most important reason, you can decide yourself if that's something that you care about investing in or not. The stats show it just might not be as important as it once was. Doesn't mean you can't use one. It's very, very important that we understand why our tenants are renting and that we make decisions based on data. All storages is about NOI. How much value can we add? So what are services that we conventionally would spend a bunch of money on that might have gotten us money in the last 10 years? A lot of those services are by the wayside. Technology is growing extremely fast. So we really need to be in tune with what's important to the tenant and the future tenants. Thank you guys for joining us.